I'm back at that Second World War site that's located here near Townsville. Now Townsville had an enormous rate of turnover of troops in the Second World War, so hopefully I'm looking forward to getting some coins here and artefacts. But my first target is a Australian 50-cent coin, so it's a little bit disappointing, but you know, things happen. But there you go, my first find, and I'll keep going and see what else I can get. Well, I've haven't had a target for quite a while, but I got a good signal here, and it's a bit of a World War II brass from webbing. So that's a good find. That'll go do well in my cabinet. Anyway, on to the next target. As you can see, the vegetation is very dense here. You can see the concrete slab there in amongst the vegetation, but it's quite thick, and I've got rubber vine, I've got chinny apple trees, which are basically spines on trees, but some places I've been crawling where I thought there might have been something useful or, you know, good find. And this is what I've come up with so far. Nothing brilliant, but shadow, get the sun out of the way. I've got a 50-cent coin up there. I've got a hobnail for the Australian soldier's boot. A couple of buckles there. Got a complete 303 cartridge. Some projectiles there, and also some canvas rings. And over here I've got the copper wire. As yet, apart from that 50-cent coin, the coins haven't popped up, but it's not from what I'm trying. But anyway, I'm going to put all these back in the pack, my pack, and get back into it. I'm going to get up in here now and see what I can do. Anyway, wish me luck. Well, I finished detecting for the day. Just going to pack my gear away and into the car and go home. I've got heaps of relics. I even got some relics that predated the Second World War. But anyway, I'm going to put this stuff away, get in the car, and I better duck home because the missus has been texting me for about the last hour and a half. Anyway, I'll see you later. These are all the finds that I recovered from the old World War II site I detected at the other day. And basically I broke them into their groups. Okay, I've got some old cartridges there, some projectiles, and a complete 303 round. Up here I've just got the old copper wire. It was in a certain area that was quite wide and flat, so that would have obviously maybe been a docking area for loading and unloading of goods. And then on this side here I've just got the canvas eyelets and bits of junk and lead, and also some studs that were used in the canvas as well. What I've got here is basically pieces of webbing. Now I found all the different parts of webbing in a roughly 3 metre area. So to me, they would have obviously just maybe thrown away, maybe dumped, whatever, and the canvas has just rotted away, and I've recovered them. At the front here I've got these here. They come off the hobnail boots. These actually have a L for left and an R for right on them, so they can be put on whatever side boot it is. And down here, I don't know what this is yet. I've got to give it a good soaking and a good clean, get it fixed up so I can find out what it is and preserve it. Now what I meant to show you, this start off with, this has had a hard life, this bit of equipment. This is actually the star, or the slang term, the pip, that goes on during the Second World War, went on the shoulders of the officers. Now that one's there all bunged up, and it's got to be cleaned and that. This is how it's supposed to look. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. Okay, it's supposed to have the 2 studs there. And that is a very sad and sorry looking star. Never mind, let's move on. A few years ago I was able to go to a auction, and I found this box that had all these ribbons in them with the HMAS. Now at the moment we've got the Queen, so it's
Her Majesty Australian ship, but during the Second World War, or the start of the war, it was His Majesty's Australian ship. Now, the crews, as far as I'm aware, were ordered that they had to take these ribbons off their helmets, correction, their hats, and what they were issued then was just a ribbon that just had HMAS, because what they didn't want the enemy to know what ship they were from or whatever. But as you can see, I've got the HMAS Sydney. She was lost with all hands, sadly, off the West Australian coast. Then you got Melbourne, Vampire, Assault, Adelaide and Cerberus. Okay, some very, very, very proud names there. Very proud names. Anyway, moving on. Back to the military side. I have got bucket loads of insignia. Australian, American, English, and I'm trying to put together a bit of a display. You know, basically just have them on the wall somewhere so I can just get rid of them out of the drawers, really. But I've got everything here. Australian shoulder titles. These are the ones that they wore during the Second World War, because I had the pin that went through the back. And infantry combat badge. 3-4 Cav, my son-in-law and my son's old unit, and I've just got them everywhere. I've got this here is full of them. I've got all this other stuff down the bottom, and I want to make a sort of display on them, but it's going to take me a fair while. Rightio, back onto this. I want to show you this chain. To me, the crudity of this chain just appeals to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just soak it in water for a few days, and then I'll get a stiff brush and I'll try and get a lot of that guck that's out of the links. But this would have to be the most primitive chain I've ever seen in the time in 30 odd years I've been going bush and all that sort of stuff. It is just so crude, so crudely made. Obviously I don't think they were a blacksmith, but they've still done the job, and it was sitting in the ground, and I was able to pull it out, and well, to me, I've recovered history, which I'm very, very happy with. But yes, that's going to get soaked, and that'll get soaked in hot water. It'll be clean, nice brush on it, and then I'll let it drain off, and then I'll soak it in oil until it's can be hung up here with the rest of my other Goldfields paraphernalia. Okay, I've got horseshoes, I've got hoops from drums, I've got rabbit traps, I've got more chain up there, chain that I found on the Goldfields. It's just never ending. So I've got it up here as well. So that's what I do. When I do recover any chains like that or anything in that particular side of things, I like to preserve it as well, because they're actually used day to day by the people that made this country what it is. Anyway, I'm ducking off now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll clean these finds up and I'll make it back to you on that, okay? Until then, I'll see you later. I don't know whether you can see that in there, but it's got a D, then an arrow, then another D, uppercase. That means it's military, and it's off a more than likely a 205 litre or 44 gallon drum of either super petrol, as we call it, or aircraft fuel. But anyway, that's my first good find, so I'm going to get back on my way. This is the area I was detecting the other day that I got a lot of those webbing finds in, and I also got that lieutenant star or rank star for the shoulders. I was just detecting here in the same area, hoping I would get another signal, and this is what I got. It's another rank star. So I'm going to detect this area quite well, move a few crummy branches out of the way and get stuck into it, and hopefully I'll find some more. Anyway, back to it. Well, I should have kept the camera out, because in the same spot, after I put all the gear together and put it back on my back, I must have walked about a metre and scored this little hook, little dress hook. Yep, so inch pocket it goes. They all add up. I've just recovered I've just
recovered another webbing buckle. I've had to move some thorn trees out of the way so I can get to it, but I've also picked up another one of those little hooks and another smaller buckle. So I'm not doing too bad here, but I've got to move some trees around. Anyway, back into it. One Pete here. I've just got a nice find I found down here, and it's got a date on it too, and that date says 1939. So we'll have a quick look. Okay. There you go, if you can see that, 1939. So that's a good find for me. I can date this camp when it started, okay, and this is a Second World War relic, so I'm happy with that, and I think I've done very, very well. Recovered this little baby. Looks bad. Now that is a good find. I think this particular piece of equipment might have been used to help keep an officer's sword from going wherever he didn't want it to go. That's what I reckon. Because I was never an officer, so I wouldn't know. I wasn't on the dark side. But anyway, there you go. I've got actually got relics lying on the ground over here waiting to get picked up. I'll just put it over here for you. I'll zoom right in. But if you can see there, I've got buckles and wire just sitting there waiting for me to run the coil over and pick up, and they're all through here as well, broken glass, everything. So this might have been a spot where they just put the stuff in a pile and burnt it, but it doesn't look like it's burnt. It looks like it's just left there and it's just rotted away. But anyway, I'm going to get back into it. Well, I've been recovering targets over there. Practically every swing gives me a target and I have to dig, but these were just lying on the surface over here. They were just lying in this clear patch near my left boot, and that's what's lying on the ground. Imagine what's just under the surface. Anyway, I'm having a ball here. Anyway, back into it. There's this one. Just got it out of the hole down there. What a beautiful find. Great buckle, that one. But I just want to show you something, if you don't mind the camera shaking for a tad. Wait one. But this is the ground I'm detecting. See, I'm getting multiple targets, and I don't know which one to pick first, which one to go for, but yes, probably take me another hour just to do this little, 1.5 metre diameter. But anyway, I'll get into it and get it done as soon as I can. So I need a bit of a rest. Okay, see you later. Well, I finally called it a day. I've been out here for a fair while. I don't even know the time. But this pouch is chock-a-block with bits of wire, fuel bungs, relics. Unfortunately, no coins. The coin gods didn't smile on me today, but there's still plenty of time, and it's about, there's quite a few thousand troops went through here, so they've got to have lost one coin here and there. Never mind, we'll have a look at the relics and all that when I get back home. See you then.
Well, I've been detecting at a Second World War Army site here in Townsville. I've been told it was supposed to be a staging area for troops. Now, approximately 300,000 military personnel went through Townsville during the course of the Second World War, and I don't think where I'm detecting at is a staging area, because basically there are just not enough finds. And the only coin I found up to date is this 1943 George VI Australian halfpenny. So I don't know where the staging area is, but it's definitely not where we're detecting. But never mind, we're getting some good finds. I also dug these at that bottle dump. You got the half pint mug on the left, and you got the pint mug on the right. And this one on the right has the telltale DRD for Department of Defence. Anyway, I got a buckle as well, a nice big buckle off a harness of some sort. It was a good find. And this old pick head, and you can see where it's cracked on the tip, where it would have been joined together by 2 pieces of metal and hammered into shape, but it's just split there and they've just discarded it. Now I've also got the 2 old chains that I recovered, and I've gone over them after soaking in water, scrubbing them with brushes and all this sort of thing, and I've been able to loosen all the linkages up and oil them, and they'll be preserved. There was only one link that I didn't have a go at to actually make sure it was loose for simple this one, because it's just too fragile. But yep, they're all good finds and worthy of my cabinets, because I'm doing another cabinet, and these artifacts will sit very nicely into it. Anyway, that's the end of the video from my point of view. I hope you enjoy it. Until next time, I'll see you later.